Trudeau went on a Liberal MP's podcast to talk about how great the Liberals are. And somehow he managed to screw it up and make himself seem stupid and also take a sideways swipe at Joe Biden, which probably irritated the Democrats. I mean, I just love this whole exchange here. So let's take a listen.
If you're speaking to a Canadian who's sitting at home and saying, "Yeah, I agree. I don't want Pierre Poilievre. I don't want to move in that direction." But we need to protect that progress, and we need to put our best foot forward. And you've probably had some reflections and I'm sure this is not the first time someone said, well, "Look at what's happening south of the border." Obviously, your brain didn't melt on national television the way that Biden's did, but Kamala has obviously put that party in a better position to win, although still a struggle, but a better position to win. Why do you think when you take a step outside of yourself and look and say, I still think I'm the best person to fight that fight?
Well, first of all, let's look at, people who are saying, "Oh, I'm not sure." Would they be saying that if I was 10 points ahead in the polls right now?
No.
Right? I mean, are there a lot of Liberals who are thinking that Justin's priorities aren't in the right place, or Justin doesn't have the fight in him, or Justin is wrong to be continuing to believe in protecting the environment and growing the economy and protecting women's rights and stuff? In terms of the substance of what we're doing, I think that's pretty much the fight. There's a question on whether or not I still have the drive of the fight or the ability to win this fight. And
Yeah.
I'd sort of say that that's obviously a question that I have to ask as well. Do I still have the drive to do this? And the answer is, and you've seen
you got
me
the
in
drive.
caucus, right?
I'm not dismissive of that.
And do I still have but do I still have the understanding of what this is going to take to win the next election?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Better than just about anyone else, because I have been fighting through crises and fighting against conservative opponents who are trying to undo this and bring Canadians, backwards and polarize them. Like, I know exactly how hard this fight is going to be. And I also know that I am absolutely roaring to go, because this kind of fight that is so fundamental to how Canadians come out or come through what has been a really, really difficult years is exactly why I got into politics, to make sure that we are delivering the absolute best future for Canadians. And I think one of the interesting questions that even as people ask me why I want to do this all the time, nobody's asking Poilievre why he wants to do it.
Yeah.
What is it that he is being driven to fight for? We know what he's fighting against.
Yeah.
What is he fighting for? And he hasn't even come, and we've been watching him and debating him and trying to counter him for years now, 20 years in the House he's been. We know what he's been all about fighting against. He hasn't even begun to articulate what he's fighting for. And I think, and I'm happy for people to be asking me the question as you are, I think more Canadians need to be asking Poilievre who and what he's fighting for, other than himself and his desire to be in power.
Okay, I think that's a big mistake for the Liberals to say that. That was a long clip, and I learned absolutely nothing. In fact, I feel stupider, and my will to live was slowly being suckled from my body. Like, that man is an absolute psychic vampire. Didn't you feel that? I just felt like he was talking and so enthusiastic about what he was talking about, but saying absolutely nothing. It was very Kamala Harris, where you're just like, is she writing a book report on a book that she didn't read, and she's trying to get to 1,000 words, so she just keeps talking and talking. That's what Justin Trudeau just did to me there. But I think that's a big mistake, by the way, for him to say, okay, Canadians, you should be asking Pierre Poilievre what he's fighting for. You're going to actually get some good answers, I think. And for Justin Trudeau to say, well, we've been paying really close attention to Poilievre, and we don't know what he's fighting for. I could list them for you. Affordability, public safety, smaller government, lower taxes, the ability of young people to be able to achieve the Canadian dream. Like, he'll articulate it just fine. Enshrining the family as a cornerstone of Canadian society. Like, if you ask him, he's going to give some really good answers. And I think that's a bad idea for Justin Trudeau to suggest people to go out and confront Pierre Poilievre, because we know Pierre Poilievre is excellent at thinking on his feet. Remember the apple, right? I also thought that was a really stupid, like a stupid response. You know, like, why do people think that you? Why do they not like you anymore? And he's like, people wouldn't be asking me that if I was 10 points ahead. Yeah, but you're losing. So people want to know. The point of the question is that you're losing. You're losing. And not just by 10 points, but like by 25. They're losing. So they want to know why you won't move on, why you're taking the whole party down with you. So yeah, they wouldn't ask you about losing if you weren't losing, Justin, you absolute dunce cap. What an idiot.